I bet you've heard of HIV, but have you ever come across its lesser-known cousin, HTLV-1? This sneaky retrovirus has been silently infecting people for years, causing lifelong infections that can lead to some pretty serious health issues. Despite its potential dangers, HTLV-1 doesn't get nearly as much attention as it should. So let's dive into the world of this hidden virus and uncover why it's so important to understand. Now, you might be wondering, how does this virus spread? Well, HTLV-1 is pretty crafty when it comes to transmission. It's not just about unsafe sex or sharing needles, although those are definitely risk factors. This virus can actually pass from mother to child through breastfeeding. What's really interesting is that HTLV-1 seems to have a gender bias. Women are more likely to get infected than men, and scientists aren't entirely sure why. It could be that it's easier for the virus to pass from men to women, or there might be some other biological factors at play. Either way, it's a puzzle that researchers are still trying to solve. Okay, so diagnosing HTLV-1 is like trying to catch a ghost. The virus can hang out in your body for years before any antibodies show up to give it away. So, how do doctors nail down a diagnosis? Well, it's not as simple as a single blood test. They usually start with an enzyme-linked immunoassay to look for HTLV antibodies. But that's just the beginning. To really confirm an HTLV infection, doctors need to bring out the big guns. They might use a Western blot test or a line immunoassay to detect antibodies to different HTLV proteins. Or they could go high-tech with a polymerase chain reaction, PCR, to find proviral DNA that's snuck its way into your cell's genomes. It's like a viral detective story with each test revealing another clue. You know, the tricky thing about HTLV-1 is that most people who have it don't even know it. They're walking around feeling fine with no idea they're carrying this virus. But for about 5 to 10% of infected people, HTLV-1 decides to make its presence known, and that's when things can get serious. So, what does HTLV-1 actually do when it decides to act up? Well, it's not just one thing. This virus is like a box of unpleasant surprises. It might cause inflammation in your eyes, a condition called uveitis, or it could lead to skin problems, aka dermatitis. And if that wasn't enough, it can even affect your lungs, causing pneumonitis. It's like the virus is playing a twisted game of, let's see how many body parts we can mess with. Now, let's talk about the really scary stuff. HTLV-1 isn't content with just causing inflammation. It can actually lead to cancer. Specifically, a type of blood cancer called adult T-cell leukemia or lymphoma. This is where things get really serious. Imagine your lymph nodes swelling up, your liver and spleen getting larger, and calcium building up in your blood. And that's just the start. This form of cancer can spread to your skin, lungs, bones, and other organs. It's like the virus decides to go on a destructive tour of your entire body. And, here's the kicker. If you're infected with HTLV-1, you've got about a 5% chance of developing this cancer over your lifetime. But wait, there's more. As if cancer wasn't bad enough, HTLV-1 has another trick up its sleeve. It can attack your nervous system. This leads to conditions with some pretty intimidating names. HTLV-1-associated myelopathy, HAM, or tropical spastic paraparesis, TSP. So what does that actually mean for someone who develops HAM or TSP? Well, it starts with progressive weakness in your legs. You might feel pain in your lower back. And then there's the really unpleasant stuff. Problems with your bowel and bladder function. Your muscles might start twitching uncontrollably. Your reflexes go into overdrive, and you could end up with a spastic gait. So, what can we do about this sneaky virus? Well, prevention is key. Public health strategies include recommending formula instead of breastfeeding for HTLV-positive mothers, promoting condom use, and setting up needle exchange programs. And of course, screening blood donations is crucial. But, here's the frustrating part. There's currently no vaccine for HTLV-1. And when it comes to treatment, we're mostly limited to managing the conditions it causes, not fighting the virus itself. Look, I know HTLV-1 isn't exactly dinner table conversation, but that's exactly why we need to talk about it more. This virus affects millions of people worldwide, often silently, and we need to shine a light on it. By understanding HTLV1, we can work towards better prevention, diagnosis, and hopefully one day a cure. So spread the word, not the virus. Knowledge is our best defense against this hidden threat.